Hi everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be taking you through the IIFT application form. But before we get started with that, I just want to highlight the important dates. So the registration has already started. You can see all the important dates on screen. It has already started and it will continue till 15th October, which is also the last date to make the payment. The fees for IIFT is 2,500 if you're a general EWS or OBC NCL candidate. For SC, ST, PWD and transgender, that fees is 1,000 rupees. And if you're a foreign national, then it is USD 200 or 15,000 rupees. There is also a correction window that they've mentioned, which is going to be from 17th October to 26th October. But our recommendation is very simple, that don't rely on this. When you're filling your form for the first time, just make sure that it is correct in all aspects. The examination is going to be conducted on the 5th December, which is the first Sunday of December. And the duration is going to be 120 minutes and the timing is 10 to 12. So now we know all the important dates. Just make sure that you mark your calendar accordingly. And now we are ready to start with the actual form. So let's go to the main website and see how to get started. So I'm on the main website, which is iift.nta.nic.in. NTA is National Testing Agency, which has been given the task of conducting the IIFT. And once you scroll down, you will see apply for IIFT MBA IB 2224 only for Indian candidates option, right? So here what you'll have to do is you'll have to click on this one. And once you click on this option, you will get a new window. Now, in this window, of course, they have listed down the steps, which is again very straightforward. IIFT form is very straightforward, by the way. It won't take you a lot of time to fill the form. Assuming you have applied for other exams, I'm sure you have all the documents ready in any case, and it won't take you a lot of time to fill the form. So applying for online registration, filling the online application form, uploading your photo and signature, and then paying examination fees, and you're done. So what we'll do is, because I'm starting the registration for the first time, what I'll do is I'll click on this option called new registration. Now let's click on this and see what we get. Now, once I clicked on this, I've got another window in which there are a whole lot of instructions and procedure for this entire application form. So I suggest that all of you go through this. I'll definitely not be taking you through this in the video, but please go through this because there are some important instructions and I hope that all of you will go through this. At the top, there is an option to download the information bulletin. So make sure that you download this and keep it with you. Go through the document. It might not be required to go through all the details, but the important ones, at least, I think you should go through those. This is the same document that you have available on the main website also. So when you are on the iift.nta.nic.in, on the left-hand side, you see information bulletin. It's the same thing that you see here. So you can download that, and what you need to do is once you have read through all these details, click on I have downloaded the information bulletin and click here to proceed. Now, once you do this, the initial thing is registration. So the form is divided into 4 parts. You start with the registration, the application form, the document upload, and the fee payment. So I'll be taking you through each of these. So let's see what we have in the registration section first. So before we begin the registration, it's a good idea to have all the documents ready. So let's see what all documents do we need, and then we'll get started with the actual form. So on the instructions, it is clearly mentioned that you will need these 3 things. So which includes the photograph, the signature, and certificate. So for photograph, they have again specified instructions. It's a fairly standard thing that it has to be in JPG or JPEG. There is a size limit, which is 10 KB to 200 KB. For signature, it is 4 KB to 30 KB. And the clear copy of certificate indicating category and or subcategory PWD as applicable between 50 KB to 300 KB. So those are the things that you should keep ready with you before you enter the registration details. So let's go to the registration details and see what all things we have. Now, in personal details, you begin with candidate's name, father's name, mother's name, and so on. You might be surprised to see that there are no instructions given. And generally, if you've filled CAT form, you would have noticed that they generally give some instruction there itself. But what IIFT has done is that these instructions can be found in the document that is there. So if you go to the document, in document, you will see the instructions for a particular question. So if you have any doubts, the best thing to do is to go to this particular document and check for that particular keyword. So the basic information has to be entered as per this. So candidate's name, mother's name, father's name as given in the secondary school examination or equivalent board university certificate. So make sure that you enter it accordingly. So candidate's name, father's name, mother's name. Rest of it is very simple. I think it's something which is very self-explanatory. Date of birth, gender, and type of identification, and so on. Then we move to address. So here it's better to give you a permanent address. So address, locality, city, town, village, and so on. And you also have to enter the state, district, pin code, your email address and mobile number. So the most important thing, of course, is email ID and mobile number. And as we have mentioned in our other videos as well, have a email address and mobile number that you're going to use for the entire season, right? So if you're going to stick to a particular email ID and mobile number, ensure that you put that in all the application forms so that there is no problem at the end. And of course, don't forget the email address or the mobile number. So make sure that you write it down somewhere. For permanent address, if it is same as what you have entered here, you can select that. So if you have entered, for example, your address for communication is different and your permanent address is different, and you have entered the communication address here, then you can enter the different permanent address. Otherwise, if it is same, then you can just click here and that will get auto-populated. Then you have an option to choose your password. Again, write it down somewhere so that you don't forget it. So enter the password, you write the same password again, and then select the security questions from one of these, and then the security answer. Write it down somewhere, make a note of it so that in case you forget your password, you can always reset it using these details. The security pin is a standard CAPTCHA, and once you complete this, then you can submit it, and then you'll be taken to the next step. So let me fill this entire section first, and then I will show you how the application form looks. Now, once you fill all the details and click on submit, it asks you to check these details once again. So it says particulars checklist to be verified, which includes your name, father name, mother name, the date of birth, gender, address, and mobile number and email ID. So what you do is you scroll up and look at all the details that you have entered. And once you have verified that they're correct, you can put a tick mark against all of these options and select I agree, and then you do a final submit. Okay, so that's the thing that you need to follow. And once you complete this, then you will be taken to the actual application form. So let me do this step and then I'll show you what happens next. So once you have completed the registration bit, you will get a mail from NTA, which will say that you have completed step 1 of the application form. And then you will be taken to this particular dashboard. So in this dashboard, you will be able to access the application form, the document upload section, and the fee payment section. The registration, you will see that there will be a green tick there because you've already completed that part. So from here, you will click on the application form and then start filling the details that are there. So let me click on that and show you what all things you will see there. So some section of the application form will get auto-populated based on the information that you have already given, such as your name, your father's name, your mother's name, and so on. I'll take you through the fields that are not getting auto-populated, starting with nationality. So here you have option which is Indian. Then you have the state or the union territory where you have all the other options. For category, you have general, SC, ST, OBC, NCL, general EWS, Kashmiri migrant, and Kashmiri Pandit, Kashmiri Hindu families, non-migrants residing in Kashmir Valley. So you select the appropriate category that is applicable to you. And then you have to make the selection in terms of the PWD candidature. Then you go to place of interview, and here you have a total of 8 options. So you have Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Lucknow, and Mumbai. So you can select which option you want to take in case the interviews happen in person. The IIFT campus preference is very important. So here we encourage, or we rather recommend, that all of you select Delhi as the preference. So here you have option to give the preference, and Delhi is what should be chosen. Okay, that is the campus that is generally everybody is aiming for, and we suggest that you enter Delhi only as the preference. For apply for, you have the IIFT MBA IB. There is no choice that is given here. You have only one option. But the exam city, of course, you can give 4 options. So you have the state selection, and from there you have another set of selections that you can make. So let me just try and enter something and see what options we get. So let's say if I select Gujarat, for example, let's see what all cities are there. So we have Ahmedabad, Rajkot, Surat, and Vadodara. So what they're doing is basically from a particular state, the major cities are being considered as exam city. So you can, of course, make the preferences selection here, and then go to the details of the academic qualification. We start with the 10th, 12th, and the graduate qualification and postgraduate if that is applicable to you. if there is any professional qualification, and then the employment details. So let's start with SSC. Now here for IFT, a good thing is that you get an option to enter your score in terms of GPA or the percentage, right? So that's a very good thing because there is always a confusion in terms of how to convert from GPA to percentage. So what you will select is of course passed, and then you will put the year of passing. Let me just select some random value for now, but you select what applies to you. So you enter all the things, and let me just select some board. And the result mode, here you will see percentage and CGP. So if I select percentage, then it will ask you to enter the total marks and the obtained marks. So if I just, let's say, enter 800 and say 700, the percentage gets auto calculated, right? Versus if I select CGPA, let's see what option we have. So it asks you to put the maximum grade point. So if let's say it is on a 10-point scale and you have obtained, let's say, an 8.9, it simply enters that as the CGPA in the next tab that is there. So it just puts at 8.9. So good thing, you can enter it either as CGPA or as percentage, depending on what is applicable to you. The same thing is applicable for your 12th or equivalent qualification details. So you can enter that here. Moving to graduate qualification details, again, the same thing is applicable. But here, in terms of past status, if you are a student who is in the final year, you'll have to select appearing. And if you're completed, then you can select past. So if you have selected past, of course, you can select the year in which you have completed your graduation, the name of examination, the name of board, and the result mode, as you have done for your 10th and 12th. Then postgraduate qualification, if it is applicable, then you can enter it. Otherwise, you can leave it blank completely. Same thing for professional qualification. If you have any sort of professional qualification, so let's say if I select past, it asks you for entering year of passing, the name of examination. So let me select 21. And here right now, there are no options. So you just need to select other. And you can then enter the course or the stream name and name of board or university, and then the result mode. Then we go to employment details. So in employment details, the question is, are or were you employed? So if you are currently employed or you were employed, that's the first option that you can select, or you can select unemployed. Now, if I select unemployed, of course, there are no further questions that we get. But if I select currently employed or were employed, then I have to enter the name of the last or the current organization, the sector, the organization type, the post held, which is the designation, the nature of duties, the work experience from and to. So let me try and just populate something. So if I enter the name, I can select some sectors. If you don't see the sector at which you have worked, you can always select any other. Organization, again, you can select what is the type of the organization. So let's say it's a private limited company. Post held, I'm just going to enter some dummy values for now. And work experience from and to, so you have a calendar selection that is there. So let me select 2nd Feb to maybe say 7th September, the day on which I'm recording this particular video. Then if I want to add more, so if I worked with, let's say, 2 or more companies, I can enter that. So I can select add row, and then the same data points for that particular company need to be entered. If I want to delete this, I can just simply click on delete row. So that is something that you'll have to enter if you have any sort of workix. Otherwise, you can always select unemployed and you're done. Then you have to enter the security pin. So once you have filled all these details, you complete this process and then click on submit. And then you're ready to move to the next part, which is document upload. So let me complete this section and I will show you what options you get in the document upload part. So once you fill all the details in the application form, similar to what you had on the registration part, you also have a checklist here. So you need to put a tick once you verify all the details. And I suggest that you go through the form thoroughly before you click on the final submit. So I've gone through my form and then I can click on I agree and do a final submit. Please note that once you submit, you'll not be able to make changes. And that is why go through the form point by point and then only do the final submit. So let me click on this and show you what happens next. So in the document upload section, if you're a general category candidate, you will see 2 options for photograph and signature. If you're a student from any reserved category, then you will see 3 options, which is photograph, signature, and the category certificate. So you'll have to just upload the document as per the specification that they have mentioned, and you're done with this particular step. So let me complete this and then we'll move to the fee payment section. So having completed the document upload now, I'm on the final step, which is the fee payment. And here you select online payment and then just complete the payment process. So this completes the entire application form for IIFT 21. I hope you guys have found this video useful. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section and we'll try to get back at the earliest. So I wish you guys all the best, and I hope you will have a look at our other videos on this particular channel, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.